General Hospital spoilers reveal that Robert Adamson is bitter after not being chosen to play Michael, a role he had temporarily filled several times in the past. After Chad Duell left General Hospital, Adamson had hoped that he would be the natural choice to permanently replace him, based on his experience and familiarity with the character. Instead, he wasn't even invited to audition, a decision that made him feel betrayed and disrespected by the production team to whom he had dedicated so much of his time and effort. Adamson had invested a lot of time and energy into the role of Michael Corinthos. Each time he was called to replace Duell, he had to memorize scripts in a short amount of time, adapt to complex ongoing storylines, and strive to maintain continuity in the character without disrupting the audience's experience. This job required a high level of professionalism and commitment, especially in a long-running show with a grueling production schedule like General Hospital. One of the shocks to Robert Adamson's beliefs is that he finds it difficult to accept. Adamson always believed that in the entertainment industry, hard work, dedication, and experience would be recognized and rewarded. He had invested so much into the role of Michael every time he was called, often in urgent situations with little time to prepare. He memorized long scripts, quickly adapted to complicated storylines, and built relationships with his co-stars, all without complaining or demanding anything. His belief that this dedication would be acknowledged was shattered when he wasn't even invited to audition for the position he had held many times before. One of the new shocks is proving to be one of the craziest events in how long-running TV shows handle casting changes. Instead of prioritizing continuity and experience, many decisions seem to be based on other factors, such as personal relationships, social media influence, or simply the desire for a completely new face. Adamson's outburst, which was later deleted, wasn't just a reflection of personal frustration but also a comment on a larger issue in the industry, the way replacement actors are often viewed as expendable regardless of how much they've invested in the role. His tweet, though later deleted, showed the level of hurt he was experiencing. Typically, actors remain silent about career disappointments, fearing that speaking out might affect future job opportunities. But Adamson's bitterness surpassed that fear, prompting him to speak up, even if only for a brief moment, about the treatment he had received. In his tweet, Adamson emphasized that he had played Michael not once, not twice, but 3 times, without preparation or enough time to prepare physically. This showcased his dedication and professionalism, being willing to step into a challenging situation to keep the show going without interruption. The fact that he wasn't even invited to audition made him feel like all those efforts had gone unrecognized or unappreciated. As rumors about Drew Garrett possibly returning to the role of Michael continued to spread, especially after his appearance on Maurice Benard's podcast, Adamson had to face the reality that not only was he not chosen, but the role might go to someone who had long ago left it. For Adamson, this felt like a slap in the face, a message that no matter how dedicated and committed he had been, he wasn't considered a worthy candidate for the role. In the entertainment industry, especially in long-running soap operas, casting changes are always a complicated decision. Producers have to weigh many factors, from audience reaction to chemistry between actors, from acting ability to how the actor fits with the character's future direction. However, for replacement actors like Adamson, this process can feel unfair and lacking transparency, particularly when they've invested so much in the role. As General Hospital fans continue to debate who should take on the role of Michael Corinthos, Adamson struggles with his complex emotions, disappointment, anger, and perhaps even sadness, realizing that sometimes, in the world of television, even the most dedicated actors can be overlooked without explanation. This isn't the first time a replacement actor has faced such a situation, and it certainly won't be the last. Throughout the long history of soap operas, there are many examples of actors who took on a role temporarily, only to see the role eventually go to someone else when it needed a permanent change. What makes Adamson's case particularly painful is that he had taken on the role of Michael multiple times, creating a reasonable expectation that he would be seriously considered for the position. As Adamson continues his acting career, this experience may shape how he approaches future opportunities. Will he continue to believe in the value of dedication and loyalty? Or will he become more skeptical of an industry that doesn't always value these qualities? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. His experience with General Hospital has left a deep scar on his career path. Meanwhile, General Hospital fans continue to watch the unfolding story of who will become the new face of Michael Corinthos. Whether it's Drew Garrett, a completely new actor, or even Chad Duell returning, the final decision will have a significant impact on the show's storyline and character relationships. And somewhere, Robert Adamson will be watching, perhaps with a little bitterness, but also with the hope that next time, his dedication and talent will be properly recognized. Robert Adamson will still have a role in General Hospital, a surprising twist in the ongoing storyline, though he wasn't chosen for the role of Michael Corinthos as expected. It seems the producers of General Hospital have recognized Adamson's talent and dedication and decided to create a new opportunity for him on the show. This is one of the new crazy events happening in Port Charles. The new change is about the adjustments happening if a new character will appear, and this character is Robert Adamson's new role. Instead of simply replacing an existing character, the writers are creating an entirely new character designed specifically to fit Adamson's acting ability and screen appeal. This not only gives Adamson a new opportunity but also opens up many exciting possibilities for the show's storyline. This new character is rumored to have a mysterious past, possibly connected to one of the powerful families in Port Charles. Perhaps he is a long-lost relative of the Quartermain family, or a new rival to Sonny Corinthos in the criminal underworld. Regardless of this character's background, his appearance will undoubtedly disrupt the current balance of power and create new, complex relationships. This proves to be one of the new explosions in how General Hospital handles character development and storylines. Instead of sticking to old patterns, they are taking a risk with a new direction by creating a character from scratch to fit a talented actor. This not only shows flexibility in the creative process but also demonstrates respect for Adamson's talent. The introduction of this new character is expected to generate a series of dramatic and surprising situations. Perhaps he will become a romantic rival to one of the main characters. Or he could bring earth-shattering secrets that will change the lives of many in Port Charles. This will create new opportunities for character interactions, new relationships, and perhaps even unexpected alliances. For Robert Adamson, this is an opportunity to prove his full range as an actor. Instead of having to adjust to fit an established character, he now has the chance to build an entirely new character from the ground up. This allows Adamson to showcase his full acting ability and potentially create a character that will leave a lasting impact on the audience. This new twist in General Hospital's storyline benefits not only Adamson and the show but also promises to bring fresh and exciting developments for viewers. It demonstrates the show's willingness to experiment and evolve, while also serving as a way to keep the story fresh and engaging after many decades on air. As this new character begins to appear on screen, there will certainly be plenty of speculation and discussion among fans about his role in the larger picture of Port Charles. Will he become a beloved character or a despised villain? Will he forge new relationships or break up existing ones? Only time will answer these questions, but one thing is certain. The appearance of this new character will bring an exciting new energy to General Hospital. Michael will return to Port Charles with a new, wild storyline. After a period of mysterious absence, Michael Corinthos' return is not just about a character reappearing on screen, it also brings with it an entirely new, bold, and surprising plot. Behind-the-scenes sources reveal that the writers are preparing a shocking storyline for this character. One that could completely change the dynamics of Port Charles and its long-established relationships. One of the new adjustments is the obsession Michael will have when he returns with a completely different mindset. No longer the idealistic and sometimes naive young man. Michael is now obsessed with one singular goal: revenge against those who have hurt his family, especially after the events with Willow and Drew's betrayal. This obsession is not only shown through his words but also through his actions, as he begins to plan and execute each step in a methodical and cold-blooded way. This is really putting new pressure on the Corinthos family and creating new adjustments within it. Sonny, who has always prided himself on his son and viewed Michael as a more morally upright successor, now faces a completely new Michael, someone willing to cross ethical boundaries to achieve his goals. This creates a new pressure for Sonny, as he must weigh whether to support his son or stop him from going too far down a dark path. Carly, on the other hand, feels torn between her love for her son and her fear of the consequences of his actions. She knows the path of revenge could lead to self-destruction. But she also understands that Michael has endured so much hurt and betrayal. This pressure forces Carly into a difficult position, where she may have to choose between Michael and those he wants to get revenge on. The new story adjustment is the changing calculations Michael is now making. No longer relying on the support of the Corinthos or Quartermain families, Michael is now building an empire of his own. He has learned a great deal from both Sonny and Edward Quartermain. And he is now using those lessons to create a new force of power in Port Charles. He is buying businesses, forging new relationships, and may even be recruiting some unexpected allies from both sides of the law. Michael's new strategy is not just about regaining power and influence, but also about positioning himself in a way that he cannot be betrayed or hurt again. He is calculating every move, predicting everyone's reaction, and preparing for any situation that may arise. This is no longer the impulsive, sometimes thoughtless Michael we knew. He is now a cold, strategic mastermind. This brings about a serious change as Michael is now considering actions he would have never thought about before. Michael has always prided himself on being different from Sonny, on trying to do the right thing and following the law. But now, after everything that has happened, he is beginning to wonder whether that approach really protected him or those he loves. This change not only affects Michael but also impacts everyone around him. Christina, who has always seen her brother as a moral role model, now has to face a different Michael. Someone who may even sympathize with her recent bold actions. Avery and Donna, the younger sisters Michael has always tried to protect, may see another side of their admired brother. And Willow, even though she betrayed him, will face the consequences of her decision when confronted by a Michael who no longer cares about forgiveness or reconciliation. When Michael returns to Port Charles, the city will have to prepare for a new storm. No one knows exactly what he did during his time away, how he has changed, or what his plans are. But one thing is for sure. His return will not be peaceful, and those who have hurt him will soon have to face the consequences of their actions. As Michael begins to implement his plan, Port Charles will witness a new power struggle, one not just about money and influence, but about honor, loyalty, and the definition of family. And at the center of it all is Michael, a man who has lost so much, learned many painful lessons, and is now ready to rewrite the rules of the game on his own terms. Robert Adamson remains upset about GH's decision, a mood that is understandable after his significant investment in the role of Michael Corinthos. Adamson's frustration and bitterness stem not just from losing a career opportunity, but from feeling betrayed and undervalued after he consistently portrayed the character so well. In the entertainment industry, where relationships and opportunities are often intertwined, being overlooked for a role you've played several times can feel like a heavy blow to both your career and your self-esteem. The new story emerging is about Adamson's obsession with the changes and what could have happened. He is facing a career and personal crisis, wondering whether his dedication and talent will ever be truly recognized in this industry. This obsession is affecting how he views his acting career and may influence his decisions going forward. Adamson has spent so much time and effort understanding and portraying Michael Corinthos. He studied the character's history, his complex relationships with both the Corinthos and Quartermain families, and even the subtle personality traits Chad Duell developed over the years. Each time he was called in to replace Duell, Adamson had to learn lines quickly, adapt to complicated ongoing storylines, and ensure the continuity of the character without disrupting the audience's experience. It was a challenging job that required a high level of professionalism and dedication, and Adamson excelled each time. Therefore, when Chad Duell decided to leave the role, Adamson had every reason to believe he would be seriously considered for the position. He had proven his abilities, established relationships with his co-stars, and been embraced by the audience. The fact that he wasn't even invited to audition made him feel betrayed and disrespected, leading to the outburst on Twitter that he later deleted. But now, with the changes unfolding, Adamson might not even join GH, making this one of the crazy new twists in the storyline. It seems that after recent events, Adamson is considering turning down any offers from GH, even if they decide to offer him a different role. This decision, if made, would create an unprecedented situation in the show's history. A source close to Adamson revealed that he is seriously considering walking away from GH after what has happened. While there is speculation that producers may be considering offering him a different role, perhaps a new character or even a version of Michael, such as a twin or distant relative, Adamson feels had accepting such a role might be seen as a compromise and would not reflect his value as an actor. Adamson's absence could force the producers to adjust their plans for the character of Michael Corinthos or any new character they may have intended for him. This could lead to sudden changes in the storyline, potentially creating unexpected and exciting situations for the audience. The writers may have to rewrite scenes they had planned, adjust the development of other characters, and may even need to create new explanations for Michael's continued absence. This could open up new creative opportunities, forcing them to think outside the box and potentially leading to storylines no one anticipated. Moreover, Adamson's decision could set a new precedent for how actors deal with controversial decisions made by production teams. It could encourage other actors to speak out about the injustices they feel in the industry, leading to broader discussions about how replacement and temporary actors are treated. In an industry where actors often remain silent about professional disappointments for fear of being labeled difficult to work with, Adamson's actions may be seen as a bold move. By publicly expressing his frustration and potentially turning down another offer from GH, he is raising a significant question about the value of dedication and talent in the entertainment industry. This situation may also create an interesting subplot off-screen, as fans closely follow the unfolding story and voice their opinions about both Adamson's and GH's decisions. This could generate renewed interest in the show, attracting attention from both longtime fans and new viewers. Fans have already started to divide into factions on online forums and social media. Some support Adamson's decision, believing he deserves better treatment after all his contributions. Others argue that this is just part of the entertainment industry, and Adamson should accept whatever opportunity comes his way. This debate extends beyond the fan community and into other actors and industry professionals. Ultimately, Adamson's possible departure from GH is creating an uncertain and dramatic situation, reflecting the true spirit of a soap opera. It shows that drama doesn't just happen on screen but behind the scenes as well, and that every decision can lead to unexpected consequences. As this situation continues to unfold, it promises to bring more surprises and excitement for those involved and the show's fans. For Adamson, this could be a defining moment in his career. Turning down a potential role in a famous show like GH is no easy decision, especially in a highly competitive industry like acting. However, it could also open new opportunities for him, as other producers and directors recognize his self-respect and professionalism. Meanwhile, GH will face its own challenges in handling this situation. How they decide to proceed, whether by choosing Drew Garrett, a completely new actor, or even convincing Chad Duell to return, will not only impact the character of Michael Corinthos but also the entire storyline and direction of the show. As both Adamson and GH continue down their respective paths, one thing is certain: this story has become part of the complex and dramatic history of one of the most famous soap operas in America. And whatever the outcome, it will leave a lasting mark on both the show and Robert Adamson's career.